Hi everyone. Today we are discussing about the topic called elements of weather and climate. Why we have to understand this in order to better understand what is our Indian monsoons and what is the condition with the agriculture, water availability in our India, especially what is about our livelihood. So we are going to deal with this. So in order to understand this question, the broadly speaking is three topics which we need to understand: the cropping pattern of India, that is southwest monsoons. Agriculture is totally dependent on this because of the southwest monsoons will bring a lot of rains to our agriculture, where kharif crop is entirely dependent on this monsoons. So it's highly important for us to understand this at foremost. And second, water availability. Without the water availability, irrigation becomes a big question. Hydroelectricity will be a big question again. And ground level recharge, it's quite important that our survival is there on the water. Coming to the livelihood in different parts of India, how it's going to get affected is rural economy, migration will happen, so stability will not be there in all these three ways which which I have discussed right now. We will be affected very drastically. Coming to the main topic called elements, today we are going to cover the elements of weather and climate. So directly going into this topic. Weather and climate are determined by the several elements. What are the elements which we are going to see right now? And these elements differ from place to place and time to time because of the topography of the earth and the lands. So which is why different regions experience different weather and climatic conditions. The major elements determine weather and climate includes, what are these elements? Number one, temperature, which we are going to deal now. Temperature plays a crucial role in determining weather conditions such as rainfall, humidity and wind patterns. How it will affect, we are going to see now. See, this is a tropic, temperate and polar. Suppose this is the earth, assume this is the equator, where we do have a lot of heat. We will receive a lot of heat directly from the sun. The rays which fall very directly over the sun, here the heat will be very much. Comparatively subtropical, that is temperate. These two are subtropical regions. Over here, these are temperate, we will call it as, or we will call it as moderate heat will be there. And here we all know polar region. So in this graph you can see very clearly, tropicals means very much heat zone is there, moderate, tropical, subtropical, this is, and this is polar, this is frigid zone. So here you can see there is a clear explanation given in this diagram. I would like to clear this once. Clear explanation is given in this. Temperature plays a crucial role in determining weather conditions such as rainfall, humidity and wind patterns. Factors affecting temperature, that is latitude, distance from the equator. Equator receives, as I already discussed, equator receives the very direct heat from the sun. Places near the equator, that is I have explained, low latitudes, this one receives more direct sunlight throughout the year, so they have the higher temperature, hot climate it is. As you can see, within this area, the area is very limited but the heat is very high. Places near the poles, as you can see, the air is scattering, and that much heat you won't be assuming it or feeling it, realizing it. Places near the poles, high latitudes, receive slanting sunlight. Earth will have its direct sun rays at the middle, bulgy nature, at the middle, at the equator, and the rays which falls at the poles or the subtropical zones will be slanting. So the heat won't be as much as it is at the equator. So they have the lower temperature, that is called cold climate. Therefore the temperature decreases from the equator towards the poles. I hope the explanation it is here is quite enough. And as you move away from the equator, here in the graph is mentioned as every 145 kilometers traveled towards the poles, the degree of Celsius will be decreasing. The heat will be always decreasing. The mean temperature zone levels, here it is mentioned, and here it is latitudes. So these are the latitudes mentioned over here, and you can see the temperature over here. At here 30 degrees Celsius it is there, as you can see. At here 30 degrees Celsius you can see, and here at the polars it is minus 30 degrees Celsius. So the graph is explaining very clearly what is the heat rate, heat at the equator, what is the heat at the polar. So coming to the altitudes, altitudes is nothing but the heights. Temperature decreases with the increasing altitude, height above the sea level. For every 1000 meters rise in the height, the temperature drops by about 6.5 degrees Celsius. Means what? Here 20 Fahrenheit is there, and the moment you move upwards, that means altitudes, there is a decrease in the temperature. Here why is it so clear and not cloudy is because it is away from the, it is inland area. So the temperature is very much drastically decreased. Here humidity is present, and where the clouds are forming, moisture is present in this area. So you can see the decrease in the temperature is only 3.3 Fahrenheit. That is why hill stations like Simla, Ooty, Darjeeling are cooler than the plains like Delhi or Chennai. Distance from the sea, how it is acting? Suppose waters are there, this remains as a moderate climate. It will not impact as in is northern India. Here heat will be more comparatively the southern India. Southern India is surrounded with the water. So in that way, distance from the sea will bring a high heat in that area. Nearby the sea, whatever is there, will bring the moderate temperature in the area because of the humidity present in this area. So that is what we are going to learn in this distance from the sea here. Places near the sea have moderate temperatures, as I explained, because water heats up and cools down very slowly. As I have mentioned, comparative to the land, water will react very slowly, but land will react very fast to the sun, heat or cold. Comparatively the water, land is very faster in reaction, and the water takes very much time to get it cold or heat. This result in cooling summers and the warmer winters. Places on the other hand, far from the sea, inland areas have extreme temperature, very hot summer. In the summer season, the land will be very hot and very cold in the winters. That is why the coastal cities like Mumbai having a moderate climate, while inland cities like Delhi have extreme temperature. I hope this information for this is very clear. Now coming to atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure has a force exerted by the weight of air on the earth's surface. See here, air has a weight on the earth's surface. So when the sun reacts, the air started rising up. That also we are going to see. It is measured during the barometer and usually expressed in millibars or hectopascals. It's very much important. That might come as a MCQ. Air pressure is not the same everywhere because it reacts with the sunlight. It is a higher when air is cool and dense, and lower where the air is warm and light. So here they are talking about the pressure. As you are in higher positions, the air is cool. See here, this is a dense, this is light. So the dense air has a high pressure on the earth. Higher pressure is acting on the earth. Here it's a lower pressure is acting over here. This differences of pressure is strongly influences what are this pressure. The air pressure is influencing winds, rainfall, storms and overall climate. Next, winds. Winds is a movement of the air from the high pressure area to the low pressure area. This is a rule. It's very much important to understand. High pressure area all to low pressure area, wind moves. Always this is a number one rule to remember. It is caused by difference in atmospheric pressure, which mainly occur due to the uneven heating of the earth's surface. As I have told you, earth, equator, sun, falling of the rays at the equator will be very high, comparatively the polars and the subtropical zones. So this is very much a heat recipient area, that is called tropical area. So this tropical area, when it is reacting to the sun's light, sun's heat, the air started rising up, so creating low pressure on the earth at the tropic, zero equator. So when this air starts rising up from the equator due to the reactions of the sun, the high pressure area, the dense area started moving towards the equator. That means what here? Rule number one, high pressure area to low pressure area. The high pressure winds, that means the dense atoms, will move towards the lighter areas, means it is going to occupy the equator area. High pressure area will move to the low pressure area, is what here it is clearly stating you. It is caused by differences in the atmospheric pressure, which mainly occur due to the uneven heating of the earth's surface. You know how the heat levels of the earth, equator, moderate, temperate and polar. These winds blow from the ocean's moist winds, often bring the clouds, rainfall, whereas when the winds blow from the desert or the dry regions, bring hot or dry weathers. So always when the winds are coming from whichever region it may be, when it is coming from over the sea, then it will carry the moisture of the water and forms the clouds and brings the rains to us. If it is happening on the land, then it will bring the dry weather, because the moisture won't be there, dry winds will be coming. Mostly southwest monsoon brings the water to India, rain to India. Northwest monsoons will be not as equal to southwest monsoons. That means what? Dry winds will come from the northeast. Coming to humidity. Humidity refers to the amount of water vapor present in the air. It is important element of weather and climate. When the air contains a large amount of water vapor, humidity is said to be, the answer starts from here for this topic. When the air contains a large amount of water vapor, the humidity is said to be high. So when the air has so much of moisture in it, then it is called as humidity. And the weather feels moist, sticky and uncomfortable. On the other hand, where there is a very little water vapor in the air, the humidity is low and air feels dry. That's very simple. Wherever the moisture is present in the air, it feels sticky, it feels moist and uncomfortable. That's what here it's there. And wherever the moisture is not there in the air, it feels very dry and sometimes it is harsh also. Coming to precipitation, very important concept. Precipitation is nothing but the rain, snow and steel and hail. Precipitation occurs when the water vapor in the air cools, condenses and becomes heavy enough to fall into the ground. As the sun gives the heat, the atmosphere reacts to it at the equator or wherever it is. The air started rising, high pressure winds will move into the low pressure area. Once they move up, they will form the clouds and start moving, and once they are heavyweight, they will start precipitating. This is the phenomena which generally we will be seeing. Coming to it is important element of the weather and climate because it determines whether a place is wet or dry. Precipitation is crucial for Agriculture, water, rivers, lakes. So this is a base for our life. Regions that receives heavy rainfall have a dense forest, obviously. Um, then coming to wild areas with very little precipitation are usually deserts. As we all know this topic. Coming to the quick check. What is the quick check? Name any three elements of weather. You all know above it is mentioned. Temperature, humidity, precipitation. Anything you can pick and write for your as per your comfortability. Next, coming to wind originates. How? Difference in air pressure. It is a difference of air pressure, high pressure to low pressure, low pressure. So this is how the winds act. Now coming to precipitation is important. Yes, it is for our sustenance, agriculture, drinking, supply, everything depends upon it. So here is another activity. Record the temperature and rainfall in your locality for 1 week. So you will be observing a day sheet you prepare kindly, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, and accordingly you record temperature, rainfall at what time, at is what. Use the AI. You can make a beautiful chart and present it to your ma'am, so you can get rewards. Coming to seasons of India, very important topic. India experiences distinct seasons due to variation in the temperature, atmospheric pressures, and wind patterns and rainfall throughout the year. The seasonal changes have a strong influence on agriculture, vegetation, water availability, and daily life, as we have already discussed. Here is a definition of the season. You have to see. A season is a period of the year that is characterized by the similar weather conditions. You need to divide the year. At what time the similar weather conditions you are reporting. See, this is a small activity you are doing it, but if you have done that for a period of a year, then you are noticing the season, for a particular period of time, what type of weather you are encountering for a shorter period of time, such as in terms of temperature, rainfall, humidity, and wind patterns. Then you know what seasons are through this activity. That's the reason they have given here. In India, seasons are mainly identified based on both temperature patterns and the rainfall rather than the temperature alone. So we are considering in India to be called as a seasons. We are considering two things mainly, that is temperature patterns, how it is affecting, like on the basis of heat and cold, and the rainfall as well. Seasonal changes are very important because they have the direct impact on the environment and the human life. India is a agriculture predominant country, and obviously seasons will have its impact on everything, not economically, livelihood as well. And let's further determine cropping patterns, as farmer plans their sowing and harvesting according to their different seasons. Influence water availability and rainfall varies from season to season. Affects human activities and livelihood, including how India is dependent on seasons. So we are going to see what are the seasons which will affect our livelihood. We are going to see right now in the four broad experiences. These are by considering all these elements. So summer season is marked by high temperature, especially in the interior parts of India. As such, March to May. First thing, the study is going on over here. The period time we should note. Hot weather season in India. This is the time where we will encounter too much heat. During this season, the sun's rays falls more directly on the Tropic of Cancer, leading to the intense heat of the land. See, ITCZ you might be knowing, intertropical convergence zones, which will move towards the north. So the tiltish 23 degrees tilt will receive over here at the north. This is the equator. This tilt will move towards the north. When this happens, the sun rays directly falls on the India tropical zone, Tropic of Cancer, that's what, leading to the intense heat. of the land surface. As land heats up faster than water, as I have already discussed, land will react faster than water. Low pressure areas develop over the land. So, wherever the heat is receiving more from the sun, the atmosphere reacts to this and starts rising up. That means air starts rising up. So the dense molecules whatever present in the atmosphere, that will become lighter and move upwards in creating clouds. This creates pressure differences between the land and the sea, which influences wind movements. So in this way the wind will move, later help in arrival of southwest monsoon winds. So this I am going to explain you now. Southwest monsoon winds will happen at this time. See into the map. So southwest monsoon winds will enter like this. So one is in this way, one is in this way. This will these are coming from the sea. They will carry moisture in them. In this way they will start precipitation in the India. So this southwest monsoons will cause lot of rain in India, which is quite helpful for the kharif crop, like rice, wheat, cotton, like these crops it is very much important in India to have the agriculture. Let's come back to the main topic. The summer month experiences rising temperature and falling air pressure in the northern plains of the country. Towards the end of the May, an elongated low pressure area develops in the region extended to the Thar desert in the northwest to Patna and Chota Nagpur plateau, to the east to the southeast. Now let's have a discussion on this on the map itself. As I have explained you, the water which is coming from the southward, southeast monsoons. So once they enter, they will move. By the time it reaches this area, here Aravallis will be there. They will be blocking the clouds. So by the time it reaches here, the moisture of that will get over. So here they will be facing lot of heat, creating from here to here hot winds called as Lu also, which we are going to discuss right now. Here the striking feature of the hot weather season is the Lu, where these are the strong gusty hot dry winds blowing during the day over the northwestern India. Sometimes they even continue until the late in the evening. Direct exposure to these winds may even prove to be fatal. It is so hot winds, as I have told you, creating a Thar desert. From the Thar desert to the Patna and Chota Nagpur plateau, it is a throw. It's in this way it will give a hot winds where it will become fatal for the people who are even fatal, that might turn to. So the dust storms are very common during the month of the May in the northern India. These storms bring temperature relief as they lower the temperature and may bring light rain and cool breeze also. As they lower the temperature, they'll end up in giving a cool breeze. They also have a season for localizing thunderstorms, which we will call as Kal Baisakhi. West Bengal we will call it as Kal Baisakhi by the end of the May and the mid of the June and the starting of pre-monsoon showers if we receive, that is called as mango seasons in Karnataka, that is also called as mango showers. So this is the information. There are so many festivals we will be pre-monsoon things, Lohri, Sankranti, Vasant Panchami, Onam, all these festivals which are very much dependent on the climate conditions, weather conditions of our India. So coming to winter season, it is again mid-November to it begins. It stays till the February. December, January are the coldest months in the northern part of India. Frost is common in the north and the lower slopes, and the Himalayas experience a snowfall. During this period, sun's rays fall more oblique, means the ITCZ move down to resulting in the less heating of the land. As a result, the cooler and the drier winds prevail much parts of our country. Winter conditions are generally make human activities more comfortable and pleasant weather and reduces evaporation, which helps conserve soil moisture. So it will retain the soil moisture, as we won't be seeing that in the summer seasons. Although the total amount of the winter rainfall locally Mahavat is small, there is immense importance of cultivation. So this one is very much important for the rabi crops. This rain is very much important for the rabi crops. In the rabi crops, we will be cultivating wheat, mustard, and the barley. The peninsular will not have a much effect of this rain and all, because it is a little elevated area, and this temperature patterns during this winters due to the moderating influence of the sea. As we can see here, peninsular plateau will be having moderate influence of the seas which is surrounded by. So there it is stated. So coming to the rainy season, the most important season. The rainy season is also called as monsoon season. Okay, it's most of the important seasons of India. It brings the arrival of the southwest monsoon winds, moisture laden winds blowing from the Indian Ocean. So I have explained prior itself. The Indian Ocean, the winds which are coming over the waters will carry the moisture in it and creates the clouds. These winds bring widespread rainfall to the most of our country from the June to September. This is very much important for us. During this season, rainfall supports agriculture, so everything gets revived. The water, reservoir, lakes, everything. The answer is also here for the second question. However, the amount of distribution of rainfall is not uniform across India. Some regions like Western Ghats and northeastern states receive very heavy rainfall. Whereas Rajasthan, I have told you here, the Aravalli will block the Rajasthan not to have the rain over here. The variation leads to difference in vegetation, cropping patterns, and farming practices across the country. Here the ghats are there. You can, clouds will just enter where there's a small breakage here, Panchal Ghat, where Karnataka will receive good rainfall due to this, and this variation leads to difference in vegetation. So this is it. Coming to retrieving monsoon. Retrieving monsoon is a retreat, means after the clouds will get clear with the water, then it will return back. The clouds, when they are returning back, they will just shower a little water when they move away from the if they move over here, then they will have a rainfall over here little bit. Otherwise they will be they will just retreat, means once they enter with the Coriolis force, they will precipitate here and hit the mountains. They will start moving over here, and then when they started retrieving it, there is no much water present here, so rains won't be occurring here. But the winds which enters through the waters into the Tamil Nadu area, here water precipitation is certain. That's what the diagram states here over here. Let's have a quick recap. The retreating or the post monsoon season is a period when the southwest monsoon winds began to withdraw from India. They are starting to withdraw and gradually move back towards the Indian Ocean. Once they entered, they have to go back. It occurs during the November-October seasons, between the rainy season and winter. The retreat is associated with the clear sky and rising temperatures and decreasing humidity. Water vapor moisture content in the air is decreasing. This is why the period is called October heat. So it's quite important for the MCQ as well. By early November, low pressure conditions shift from northwest India to the Bay of Bengal. This lead to the low pressure, means heat. Whenever there is a low pressure, that means the heat is acting on the air or atmosphere, so that the air molecules rising up. So cyclonic pressures over the Andaman Sea. The tropical cyclone often move towards the eastern coast of India, bringing heavy and widespread things. Here, any cyclonic effects will carry the moisture towards the India. The dense populated deltas like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri rivers are frequently affected by the cyclones. This one, causing heavy damage to the life and property. Sometimes these cyclones strike the coastal area of Odisha, West Bengal and Bangladesh. Here also, and most of the rainfall received along with the Coromandel coast. Here, this is the bend is called as Coromandel coast, Tamil Nadu coast. During this season brought the cyclonic depression. I hope you have understood still here the topic. Here we do have to understand how the India is getting affected with the different seasons. Quick check here. What is a season? We have to see now. A season is a division of a year characterized by a particular weather patterns, daylight hours and temperature. So we need to study, as I already told you, to do an activity on a week season weather study. So where if you read it the same thing over a long period of year, say 1 year, then you will be understanding the weather conditions of that particular area. Then you will be noticing it what is a season called, and where is a very familiar summer, winter, rainy and autumn. So second question here, which season is most important for agriculture? Obviously rainy. I already told you it's very important season. Why do seasons vary across India? It's because of its diverse geography, latitudinal extent, topography. Tropic of Cancer divides India into tropical and subtropical, and relief features. Himalayas block the cold winds. So coastal have the moderate climate. Monsoon, winds, the timely and intensity of the winds differ across regions. This is the answer for this. List 2 ways in which the seasons affect agriculture in your region. You please kharif and rabi crops you can just maintain. Kharif and rabi crops which will affect the agriculture. I hope you have understood till here. Be aware of the word monsoon is what from the Mosam. So this is a MCQ again. So read this, which is eventually taken by the Dutch and later on with the English. First, it is also adopted by the Portuguese. Is the information they have given us to understand. Historically, it is described as a seasonal reversal of the winds in India. So Indian monsoon is very much in need to understand. So I hope I am clear with second question answer. So the next class we are going to deal with the climatic changes and flood interactions. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.